Hello, class. How's it going tonight? Oh, let me turn down the background music a tiny bit. And just my overall volume, that's a bit loud. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for stopping by. Tonight I'm going to be doing something a little new for my gaming streams. Typically I'm playing Doom or some other kind of boomer shooter, but as I'm sure I've talked about before, I have a deep love of old Sega games. Mostly Genesis, Saturn, Dreamcast, some Master System and Game Gear, but Sega were the king of the arcades for a long time, in my opinion. And earlier this year, in fact, Sega put out a wonderful little miniature console, the Sega Astro City Mini, meant to look like their kind of iconic Japanese arcade cabinets. Hold on, I'm just gonna pull up a picture, show you what one looks like so you know what I'm talking about. Now, they were released in Japan towards the end of 2020, but came out with a US release earlier this year in March, I believe. So naturally, I bought one. Here we go. Yeah, so it's a very tiny little arcade cabinet, screen and everything, real arcade joystick, real arcade buttons. You can plug in USB controllers if you want something a little easier, but I find it actually quite comfortable to play on. And it has HDMI out, so it's quite easy to hook up and stream from, or just play on your own TV. So I believe it has 32 games or so, including some Sega arcade games that never left the West. So I thought it would be a lot of fun to bust that out and just go through some arcade games, have kind of a nice laid-back night. Now, I don't have an arcade cabinet here in my study, though I wish I did. That's a dream of mine. I do have this dusty old CRT that I can hook up the arcade games to, so why don't I go ahead and do that? So, Based Bug, first, good to see it. Second, I just put it on the tabletop and play like that. If I was doing HDMI out to my TV or something, I would probably use a USB controller to make it a little more comfortable. And for tonight, I'll be looking at my second monitor and playing that way, because I'm just feeding the footage directly in. So hold on, let me make sure this TV's on. There we go. So, this is the Sega Astro City Mini. So, I'm glad the effect is working well. So, the games are organized by chronological release, starting with 1984's Flicky, and going all the way up to Poyo Puyo 2 in 1994. One of my favorite games, actually. And Dotori-kun, which was just built into the Sega arcade printed circuit boards back in the day, which is a fun little Pac-Man type clone game. Actually, you know what? Why don't we start there? Oh, so first off, I want to point out you can look at different screenshots of the games as you go. So it gives you kind of an idea, you know, what the games look like. You can adjust settings for the unit. I'm actually going to turn it. Well, it doesn't matter what I make the settings here. Hopefully you can hear the game audio. You can also apply a scanline effect to the screen, but I don't find that looks great, personally. I don't like the fake scanline effect, so... Oh. Let me see. Well, I'm actually not seeing a big difference. Maybe it's only once you're in the game. Well, let's confirm that quickly. Also, I'm going to apologize for background noise. Okay, yeah, the scanline effect only shows up in the game itself. Yeah, it just makes the screen a little too dark. Doesn't quite work how it's supposed to. Well, let me back out and fix that. Bear with me, class, while I get this back to how it should be. So you know what? I think before I settle in with a game to play, I'm going to just kind of go down the list in chronological order, let you know what I know about the game, and then show you a couple minutes and we can decide what we're going to play. So first, let's start with the kind of throwaway game, Datori-kun, which is helpfully described as the one that is already in there. There's a lot of kind of English in the menus here, where, you know, this was not really targeted at the Western market so much. But we've just got speed up and pause for our controls. Oh no, Kamiyana, that's exactly where the flickies come from. The flickies were in their own game before they were ever before they were ever in Sonic. So you can see here Datori-kun is just a dot munching game, and you've got kind of these concentric rings that you've got to navigate, avoiding whatever that X there is. But it's not easy, though it is quite fun. And you can speed up or slow down, and that's the extent of your control. I don't know if you can hear the joystick on this thing makes very satisfying clicking noises when you use it. Same with the buttons. The build quality is quite good. It really does feel like a proper arcade stick. Yeah, it is. It is quite clicky and nice. Whoops. I am playing at a bit of an angle so that the cables can reach from my computer. There we go. And I think there is just a bit of input lag introduced by my capture setup, so hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. I was playing a bit earlier and I think I was doing all right. We'll see. We'll see when we get into some more reflex-intensive games. Could also just be that, you know, I'm not as good with a joystick as I used to be. It's been quite some time since I've been to an arcade. And that's something I was curious about, actually. What kind of... Oh, it's too slow. What kind of memories you all have of arcades? Because when I was a kid, we still had a local arcade. And in addition to that, there were 2 roller rinks in town, both of which had arcades as well. So there were a lot of arcade games around. And it was just always the most fun, because games at the arcade, you know, back in the early 90s, were so much more advanced than games at home. Even though, you know, the Genesis and Super Nintendo did a lot better than the NES and Master System did at providing the arcade experience at home, arcades always just had that extra level of quality. So let's just go down the list and play a couple minutes of each game. The debut game with Flicky from the Sonic series. Avoid Nyan Nyan. Bring the Poyo Puyos home. And the only control is jump. But it's not a simple game, so the attract screen here, the demo, shows you the way to play. You can pick up obstacles in the level as you run over them, and basically use that as your attack. Oh, gotta insert a coin first. There we go. So, for such an early game, this is very... Oops. You get a higher score if you deliver all the Poyo Puyos at once, all the flickies. Whoop. Played nothing but racing games. Oh, yeah. There's a few barcades I've been to, Based Bug. I love them. I think they're a great idea. Some have pinball, some have, like regular... it's too slow. Regular classic arcade games. The ones that have actual arcade games, in addition to, you know, modern stuff, are always the ones I find most fun. Okay, gotta avoid the cats. Let's throw it. Oh! So if the cat hits your trail of flickies, or of Poyo Puyos, your flicky, it will interrupt the chain of the ones that are following you. Let's try that again, because that was a sorry display. Ideally, you want to get all of them in one run and end the level that way, because you get much bigger points for doing that. But, you know, high risk, high reward. It's a very cute game, Kamiyana. The music gets a little grating. Hold on, I'm gonna reset. Give it a fresh start. The music gets a little grating because it is just one short loop. But, you know, in 1984, arcade games didn't all have music. You know, Pac-Man a couple years earlier just had that one little ditty that would play in between levels. So having background music for the whole game is, you know, still fairly novel at this point. And the graphics are pretty bright, colorful, attractive. Oh yeah, you can see I just managed to hit the Nyan with the flower pot, which can really save you. But they will keep spawning, so it's not like you can, you know, do that and then ignore them. I think this might be all the guys in the level. Yep. Ooh, 4-player race on separate cabinets. That's fun. Trying to remember, I think it was one of the NASCAR arcade games. Had something like that where you could have... yes, never gonna give you up. This has, HDMI out. Oh, you can see he just interrupted my chain. That's where the risk-reward comes in. I don't want to leave any behind. Okay, I think this is all of them in the level. Let's see. Alright. That was pretty good. Yeah, there's HDMI out on the back of this, never gonna give you up, so it actually becomes quite stream-friendly. Oh god. You still control just... Oh, you can jump. So Flicky's a game I've played a few times in the arcade. You know, it's like, you see it, and you're like, okay, I'll put a quarter in, this is cute. But then you know, you die really quickly because you haven't had time to get used to it, and things happen fast. Whoops. I actually wanted to avoid delivering them to the door that quickly. Just because I'm greedy, I want the high scores. Not that they matter, you know, these are only going to be benchmarked against my own scores, if anything, but... Yeah, no, the video out is really clean. I think it outputs at a native 720p, which for most of these games would be, like, integer scaled times 4. So the output is quite sharp. Whoops. Okay, I gotta go recover those. I think the cats get faster as you go. The levels loop, so you don't have to worry too much. Oh god. Oh god. There we go, there we go. I just need to get those. Ooh. Did I ever put a hard limit on how much I spent? Well, as a kid, I was limited by, you know, however many quarters I had, which usually wasn't that many. As a grown man, when I go to an arcade, I will usually set myself, you know, an arcade budget. Yeah, right, Duck Duck Snow? Like, who needs it? Whoa, that one's got shades on. He's cool. I gotta rescue him before these evil cats get him. Yeah, these, like, super abstract concepts. It's like, yeah, I guess you're a bird, you're saving the other birds because don't ask too many questions. Okay, I think I've got them all, and I think I can get 2 cats in one. Yes! Alright, I think we're golden now. Oh, you're kidding me! Aw. I got by the cat right at the end. So that's Flicky. I thought I was delivering them all. So the next game on here, it's given its English title of Sega Ninja, which is what it was released on the Master System as. But in Japan, this was called Ninja Princess. When they brought the game to the US, they changed it and they made it so that you were a guy rescuing a princess. Whereas in the original, you're the princess, you don't need to be rescued, you're out here throwing shurikens and kicking ass. This one, I've played a bit of. It's super fun. It's like a top-down run-and-gun. Think like Commando, or like the vertical levels in Contra, but with a feudal Japan setting. So if you've ever played something like Pocky and Rocky, which came out a lot later than this, that's where that idea comes from, basically. So you've got your 8-way shuriken, a forward-facing shuriken, and your ninja skill, which lets you kind of disappear for a second to avoid attacks or projectiles. So the Puma ninjas are blocking the path of Princess Kurumi. Use your shuriken and ninja skills to get to the castle. This is, I think, one of the most fun games on here, and I could play this all night, and I might play this all night because I really like this game. Very colorful visuals. Let's put our credit in. Princess's Adventure starts. And this one, even though it's only a year later than Flicky and on the same basic hardware, you can tell there's a lot more going on in terms of like visual fidelity, music. You've got to be really quick with the projectiles here, though, because this is an intense action game. Yeah, so see, I dodged his attack by going invisible for a second there. Or dodging, or disappearing, or however you want to think of it. Even this, with a little more link to reality, is still pretty abstract. Oh, I got a power-up, so now my shots are more powerful and travel through multiple enemies. These ones disguised as rocks turn into bad ninjas. Oh, that was close. Got him. And you can knock their projectiles out of the air with your own. But this is one where your reflexes really need to be working. There we go. Ah! You can see there's a long way to reach the castle. Whoops, I was just hitting the wrong button. There we go. I like that it doesn't reset you all the way to the start of the level, though. It makes the game a lot more manageable. Though, like, you know, most games from this era, there's some elements that feel a little unfair, because, you know, they wanted your quarters. Like how fast that guy is. There we go. You do have, if you look at the lower right-hand corner of the screen, a time limit for the level, which your special power takes away from. And then you get a little boss, and there we go. So that's the boss down. You get a bonus based on your hit ratio. But you can see, stage 2, where, oh, Space Harrier is next on this list, and that's a game I like a lot. Whoop. That guy thought he was slick. Whoop. That guy was slick. Sorry about the noises in the background. I'm still dog-sitting for a friend, so I've got a giant Great Pyrenees making a good deal of noise behind me. One nice touch. When you walk through the water, you're slower. Just a very neat detail, cool bit of realism that they didn't need to put in their game, but they did. And it just makes it a little bit more special feeling. Whoa! Oh god. Run away. Okay, there we go. Oh, I think we're close to beating the top score on the machine by default, which is probably no achievement at all. Ooh, just barely. Ooh, I've got the more powerful shot now. Got him. Oh, we're getting low on time, though. I gotta hurry. That's the danger. So the way it works, Based Bug, one button... Whoa! That was close. One button will always throw forward, and the other one is 8-way based on the direction you're holding the joystick. So it's not a perfect solution, but for, you know, the time, that was the best they could do. Yeah, no, it worked well. Actually, this works well, just going through how far can one credit get me in each of these games, and then I'll go back and choose some to play a little more in depth. Next is My Hero from 1985, which is one of the earliest entries in the beat-em-up genre. So this is before even, Renegade or Double Dragon. However, this is a game I've played on the Master System. Oh no, Takeshi's girlfriend, Mari, has been kidnapped. Save her. This is one of the most infuriating games I've ever played. You die in one hit, and the game is full of the cheapest hits possible. Oh yeah. I would love to get a full-sized, real Astro City Cab Gyaru, but for the price, this Astro City Mini is definitely worth it, in my opinion. Though, they should not have put Virtua Fighter on it. It runs very poorly. Everything else runs great, but there we go. You can punch the bottle and take a bunch of them out. Yep, that's how quickly you die in this one, though. Yeah, I got this mostly for the games that I just hadn't ever gotten to see in the wild before, like Golden Axe, Revenge of Death Adder, Arabian Fight, Dark Edge, which is one of the weirdest games. Oh, come here, come here. Oh, God. So, My Hero is a strong contender for my least favorite game on this thing. Because it's pure memorization, like cheap shots. There's a lot of actually attractive visuals in this, I think. Like, I like how this game looks. But it's pretty dreadful. Alright, so we're gonna leave that one be for now. But we're gonna leave it be to go to one of Sega's best arcade games, Space Harrier. I feel like Space Harrier doesn't need introduction, but welcome to the Fantasy Zone. Legendary, spectacular fantasy shooting game. Yeah, right, Based Bug? I do try to hold myself to, a credit limit. Like, I'll imagine, okay, I've got $1 of credits worth to put into this. Oh, I'm jealous. Oh, have you seen, Gyaru, they are making a Taito Egret mini console with a screen that can switch between normal orientation and Tate mode. It looks like it's going to be very expensive. Yeah, I'm absolutely going to get one of those when they launch because I need that. And Taito is one of my favorite companies for arcade games. The times... Oh, hold on. I need to change the controls. So in an arcade, when you have a flight stick style control for Space Harrier, it makes sense for the controls to be inverted in my brain. Not so much when it's a tiny joystick on your tabletop in front of you. So let me see if I can change. Okay, there we go. I'll accept that embarrassing death. So Space Harrier really marked the start of Sega's kind of obsession and mastery of what were called super scaling games. Scaling being sprites getting larger and smaller as they move towards or away from the screen. Right? Look, Space Harrier music on anything, honestly, except for maybe, the Master System version. Now, growing up, I had the Sega 32X version of Space Harrier, which is excellent. I am an unapologetic Sega 32X apologist. It was absolutely fine hardware. It was just a bad decision for Sega to make it. Yes, Antrois, Thunderblade was an absolute blast. So I'm going to hold myself to my 1 credit per game rule for demoing everything. Now we're getting into, I think, some of the most classic Sega arcade era towards the later 80s. Fantasy Zone, another game. I still have the box. I got that for Christmas in 1995. And I thought it was very cool. I wanted a Saturn, but I got a 32X. I feel like this description is such an understatement. Side-scroll shooter that represents Sega. Collect coins to power up Warrior Opa Opa. Fantasy Zone is one of the... Oh yeah, I still do. My 32X Sega CD Model 2 and Genesis Model 2. I have a Genesis Model 1 as well, but I prefer the Model 2 because it fits in line better aesthetically with the Sega CD Model 2 and the 32X. Long ago, far away in space, there existed a fantasy zone where a courageous hero called Opa Opa... That went by too fast. Whoops. So, Fantasy Zone is a great game that I've never actually been very good at. I should do streams with my full Sega setup sometime. Now we're getting into the era of arcade games that have really good music. I love the Sega CD. Oh god. I'm doing very poorly. That was a poor demo of Fantasy Zone, class. I have to apologize. Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy is a weird series because Wonder Boy 1 and Adventure Island 1 are essentially the same game, but they split off into two very different series. And weirdly, the, Oh, no. She's wrong. There's a lot of other very good games, though KO Flying Squadron's an incredible game. Actually, so in the UK, KO Flying Squadron, a demo disc came with a magazine back in the day, only they messed up and the entire game was included on the demo disc. It is a great game, but I will stand Sega's ill-fated attachments for the Genesis, though it's not even fair to call the Sega CD ill-fated. It was quite successful. Now, Wonder Boy, great game, great series. Weirdly, the Game Gear port of Wonder Boy, for whatever reason, was renamed Revenge of Dranken, and the box art changed to look like some, cool, grim-dark kind of thing. And I have no idea why. Here we go. Another thing that I'm not sure why was the case, but it was in the 80s and 90s, there was a big fad of caveman-themed games. You had Wonder Boy and Adventure Island, you had the Joe and Mac series, you had, Chuck Rock. Why were there so many caveman-themed games back then for a while? Alright, now we're cool. We've got a skateboard. Oh, now we don't have a skateboard. Ah, not the bees! Yeah, I mean, the 32X was a bad business decision, but it wasn't bad hardware. It was actually fairly similar to the Saturn with its dual CPUs. Yeah, how deep does the cave hole go? That's a good question, Duck Duck Snow. So, to keep going in this game, you need to continually pick up fruit, because otherwise you'll get too hungry and you'll die. So the power-ups aren't just there to be a cute little, thing for you to get, but they are essential to your being able to finish a level. There we go. Now, this is a game that I had on NES as a kid as Adventure Island, and it's a notoriously difficult game. Thinking of Adventure Island, are any of you familiar with the Japanese TV program Game Center CX? Because one of my absolute favorite episodes is when Arino plays Adventure. Yes! Kacho on! Whoops. Is when he tried to beat it. And he just couldn't. I think he played for like 14 hours straight. He got so far. Even the staff, the interns, couldn't beat it. I love that show because it sums up part of what's so fun about these old games, you know? It was the thrill of victory after a long, hard fight and mastering a game. Whoops. Mastering a game after, you know, tons and tons of play. Whoop. Oh wow, that was a long time ago. I remember, God, it must have been like 10 years ago at this time. Kotaku tried to localize Game Center CX as, I think they were calling it Retro Game Challenge, and the DS game got localized, which was a great game, by the way, and I'm upset the sequel never got localized. But they cut out all the, you know, bits that weren't him playing the game, you know, where he'd go visit game centers and, you know, read old game manuals. And that was the kind of stuff that really made the show so special feeling. Ah. Oh, they got in an episode? I'm jealous. All right. That's a quick look at Wonderboy. Quartet 2. This one I hadn't played before I got this. I'd played Quartet on Master System, but never the sequel. This was notable for being a 4-player action game. Or 2-person version of the game Quartet. 4 Space Warriors, got it. Shoot, jump. That's all you need. Let's see, who should I be? Lee, Joe, Mary, or Edgar? Edgar looks cool. I don't know if the characters play differently or if they just look different. Destroy the boss. Only a key opens the door. Oh, we've got properly funky music now. Ooh. Got a jetpack. I think this was when Sega started experimenting with FM synth in their music, because this rules. This would be worth the quarter by itself. I'm grooving. Whoop. Oh, I'm not dead. You just get knocked down. Oh, I see. I've got power at the top left of the screen there. Oh, we froze everything. This is awesome. The graphics are kind of basic, but the music's incredible. Ooh. Is this like a shotgun? I like this. Not a lot of range, but... Oh, oh god. That thing's strong. I want to keep flying. No, no. Give me the jetpack, please. Oh, I can't get close to him. Oh, got him. There's the key. Now I can exit. Presentation ceremony. This is awesome. So you can actually do 2-player on this console as well. FM is pure soul. Before I started the stream, when I had the waiting room open, I was playing the Thunder Force 4 Lightning Force soundtrack, which has some of the best FM synth ever used on the Genesis. I would love to get, so the... Ooh, if you've got any Androids, please feel free, drop the links in chat. I would love to listen to those. The Sega Mark III, which was the Japanese version of the Master System, basically, had a separate FM synthesis add-on, basically, And some games took advantage of that and had two different soundtracks. One for the standard Mark III PSG, but some for the FM synth. So you've got games that have these incredible FM soundtracks on Master System, basically. And the US releases maintained that additional FM synth, but with no way to access it, basically, because, we never got that attachment in the West. But I'm pretty sure you can hack together your own version of it with the Japanese attachment. However, they're very, very expensive. So I've not done that, much as I would like to. Maybe next time I go to Japan, I can go bargain hunting for a Mark III FM synth add-on. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, I'm out of power, which I assume means I'm gonna die imminently. Atlas, good to see you. I've been fortunate enough to go 3 times, most recently in 2019. Oh, I'm dead there. Oh, have I got another life? It's a VTuber pilgrimage. Okay, so only 1 life, but they're quite generous. Let's see. Alex Kidd with Stella, The Lost Stars. So I'm going to say something that might be a bit heretical as a Sega fan. I don't think the Alex Kidd series is very good. I've never enjoyed it very much. I know it was Sega's, first real attempt at a mascot character. I never enjoyed the Alex Kidd series very much. But I will say, this looks and sounds great. Whoops. I promise I'm not bad at platformers, class. This is just, Oh, I see. That shoots something out in front of me. Well, this has great music, at least. Oh, that power-up's gone already. Let's see. Okay, I guess... Yeah, right? I think, honestly, Duck Duck Snow, that, this may be controversial, that people who are big Alex Kidd fans are secretly resentful that they didn't also have a Nintendo to play Mario. Because Mario is objectively better than Alex Kidd. Okay, I've got a shot now. Ooh, thanks, Antroist. I will pull that up after my next step because I really want to hear that remix. So this is another opinion that might get me some flack. I've never particularly enjoyed playing platformers in the arcade. Oh, am I going to get run over by the monorail? Okay. Enter my name. I doubt it will give me enough. I can't leave it as BL. Moving on to a much better game. Miracle World is fun, but, I get that playing, John Ken against bosses is cute, but, like, I don't know, it felt like such an anticlimax to me. Alien Syndrome is one where it's home ports. The Master System version was pretty bad, and the NES got an unlicensed version by Tengen. Hey, Doc Pestis. Excellent. Yeah, this is a very cool mini arcade cabinet. Let me see. I had pulled up a picture earlier. So it sits right on your tabletop, but it also has HDMI out, which makes it quite stream friendly. I'm going to quickly pull up. Oh, this is from OC Remix. Antroist. Back in the day, I used to hang out on the OC Remix forums a lot. I never actually made any remixes, but I've been, listening to their work, the work of musicians there since probably 2003, 2004. Long time. Yeah, it's an incredible community, and they've made some truly, truly spectacular work. This is already... I see what you mean about this is very 2009, but in, like, a good nostalgic way. This is good. I feel like this is going to turn into, like, yeah, dance mix. I'm going to skip around a bit. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the stuff. I'm gonna save that for later. Thank you, Antroist. But yes, Doc Pestis, it is a wonderful little system. I think it was about $130 or $140, which is, a bit much, but it's a very cute thing, Oh yes, Alien Syndrome. I had to remember what I was playing. Your mission.
Round 1. The time bomb is set.
I love these early janky voice samples. Okay. Ooh, we've got a turbo button if we wanna cheese it a bit. Ooh, I'm sure quite a number of them, Antroist. Though generally, arcade operators usually had access to a settings menu where they could adjust the difficulty level of the games. Though I'm sure a lot of unscrupulous arcade operators had them, cranked to max difficulty to try to wring more quarters out of people. Personally, I think if you leave it at the, recommended difficulty, which isn't always fair in its own right, but, but if you leave it at the recommended difficulty, I think players are more likely to keep putting quarters into the machine. Because that way, you feel like you've got a chance to win. You're not just getting, the money sucked out of you. So I've got to rescue 16 comrades. I do like the kind of grotesque look and animation of the aliens. Which the way they animate is actually quite nice for the time period, I think. Oh yeah, home ports of games were sometimes completely ruthless in comparison to the arcade counterparts. Ghosts and Goblins, Contra. Though Contra on the NES, I think, is a way better game than Contra in the arcade. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, TMNT, the arcade, on NES. Street Fighter 3. Really, any SNK game at all. People even call it SNK Boss Syndrome. Streets of Rage was always a home series, I believe, and probably the best beat-em-ups of all time. Whoops. I love these voice samples. Pretty clear sounding for 1986. I gotta remember, these ones have an arc to them. They don't just hit up. Alien Syndrome is fun, but it's hard. That's a quarter eater for sure. Now we've got Wonder Boy in Monsterland, which is a weird choice to have ever been an arcade game in the first place, because this one, if you're gonna play this, which you should, there's a brilliant modern remake that came out a few years ago of the Sega Master System version, because this is more like a platform RPG. I don't know why this was ever released for the arcades. It's not really suitable for the arcade. We've got a Gladius, which has been transliterated as Gradius, which makes me laugh a little bit. But basically in this, you go around, you get equipment. You know, it's an RPG properly. Not the best choice for the arcade. I think it both controls, looks, and sounds better on Master System. Though these days, you can play the modern remake, which lets you toggle back and forth between the, Oh, it may have been Duck Duck Snow, I'm not actually sure. Yeah, but this is one that was, you know, from a game design standpoint, always better suited for the home than the arcade. Oh, come on. There we go. Still, you know, not a bad-looking game, but by, you know, 1987 or so, you kind of expected a better-looking arcade game than this. Or better sounding, certainly. You know, it feels a bit basic. And I don't mean, you know, it's not bad. It's still a fun game. But it just feels like kind of like a wasted opportunity almost. Whoops, it's also not easy to play this. I don't read Japanese. Okay, I think we can finally get some armor. Oh, I don't have enough gold. Oh no, I did apparently. There we go. Like how they've got an arrow pointing you where to go as if you couldn't figure out, you know, keep walking to the right. bloominjapan.mp4, pretty much. I mean, I speak a little Japanese, not a lot. You know, enough to, you know, ask how to get somewhere, how much something costs. Very, very basic stuff. I'm hopefully, you know, international travel situation pending, planning a trip next summer that would include a lot of Korea and Japan. You know, about a month or so. So, I should, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Well, I've been to Spain, and I do speak Spanish, you know, decently well. Certainly well enough to, you know, have conversations, and it's not like, you know, not difficult to read Spanish, considering it shares an alphabet with English. Oh. I'm just getting damage boosted through the level. Got those enhanced IRL subtitles. Oh. Okay. Hey, calm down, buddy. Sorry, dog's barking at something. Well, I'm gonna take that as a as a game over and move on. Now we're getting into the good stuff. Shinobi, I feel like shouldn't need any introduction. Those who stand on your way up will be slashed. Become Joe Musashi and fight the evil Zeed who controls the dark underworld. A ninja action game that became a big hit in the US. It certainly did. And the home versions were still good, but nothing held a candle to this. Though I will say, there are two Shinobi games on Game Gear called GG Shinobi 1 and 2, which are not ports, they're completely original games, and they're excellent. I always liked the switching between two layers that these games had. This had that feature, Rolling Thunder had that. Okay, let's jump up. behind this guy. Get him. Master Ninja Joe Musashi knows the most powerful ninjutsu of all. Gun. Oh, yeah. Shinobi's got tons of remixes. Shinobi is a series, though, I associate really more with the Genesis than the arcade because of Shinobi 3, which is one of probably the best action games there's ever been. I actually received an excellent version on the 3DS as part of the 3D Classics series, developed by M2. Seeing Shinobi 3's beautiful sprite art split into multiple 3D layers looks absolutely stunning. There we go. I think we've rescued enough kids to move on. Or no, we got it. Whoa. Get the boss. There we go. I think a little too loud. There we go. Gotta get that guy when he throws his projectile. There we go. Hey, Mechanicat, thank you for the follow. You've joined as we're going through all of the games on the Sega Astro City Mini one by one. Giving myself 1 credit on each and switching games when I die. I think right now the game that I will revisit when I get to the end will be, Hey, calm down, dog. It's just a cat. Well, I'm going to shamelessly blame that death on the dog, but we're going to move on to a vertical scrolling shooter, Sonic Boom. I've not played this one much. Scramble, regain world freedom, enemy plane attack, make that super shot. Let's go for it. I love shmups. This looks fairly generic, however. I don't, associate Sega as being a top shmups company. Oh, dog, no, come on. You can't muscle up under my arm while I'm playing video games. That's not helpful. Sorry, I've got puppy interference on my end. I mean, I am also a Nintendo fan, but dog's a double agent. He's working for the enemy. So my first impression of this game is not terribly positive. It's very, very slow. Okay, that's our super shot. Yeah, this is pretty slow and pretty ugly, even by the standards of the time. Pretty hard to see the projectiles. I'll probably come back to that. Yes. Yes, you've got very loud toys that you're dropping on the floor. Altered Beast. Yeah, exactly. Slow works for Dragon Spirit. The low contrast in that was almost impossible to see. Altered Beast, I feel like, doesn't need much introduction. Anybody who had a Genesis back in the day probably had a copy of Altered Beast and can just think of, "Wise from your grave." Yeah, right? The way you power up is very silly. Though this was one of the games that really showed, "Welcome to your doom." I think that was a pretty good impression.
Rise from your grave.
This is a game that I associate much more with the Genesis than with the arcade. Even though the arcade version is so much more visually spectacular than the... Oh, is it Mechanicat? Get it! Now we're getting beefy now. Oh god. I've never been good at Altered Beast. And actually, I am almost exclusively familiar with the Genesis version rather than the arcade. Though I will say, the The graphics in this do look great.
Power up.
Look at that tiny little head on that huge bulking body. Oh, it's too slow. I love how stuff like fly scales towards the screen when you when they explode. Like that, flying towards the screen. Yeah, right? Looks like Marble Zone in Sonic 1. Okay, I need one more power-up before I go beast mode. Oh, God. There we go. Gotta just lean down and punch him right in the groin. Look at his tiny little head. Looks ridiculous. Oh, I love breaking those, though. Yeah, Altered Beast is not an easy game. Oh, I missed the power-up. Oh, there's another chance for it. I like how he bends over double after you kick him in the balls. Good detail. Okay, come on. For as big a dude as you are in this game, your like attack range is shockingly small. You gotta be very precise in your hits. There we go. Come on. Okay, get ready for this guy's vertical attack. There we go. I'm learning it. Come here. Oh, the blue guy got me. Oh, come on. Other way. Oh, God. This is going poorly. Blue guy's just absolutely devastating me. There we go. There we go. I'm toast if there's two of these guys. I'm bad at Altered Beast, apparently. Alright. Scramble Spirits, we've got another vertical shmup. Hopefully this one's faster. A fierce battle with formation changes that won't let you catch your breath. A highly visual defense war. Whatever that means. Okay, so you have a formation change. So does that mean you have squad mates with you? Let's see. Another low contrast, very slow moving vertical shmup. Why did they include this and not something better? And it looks like things that are on the lower strata can only be hit by your rocket that flies out, but you can't fire that separately. So that's cool, that I can't shoot those until the little rocket comes out of my ship, the little bomb. Got some text saying something, I'm sure. No, dog, you can't play an arcade game. Or maybe you can, I don't know. Oh, this is kind of neat. Not a lot of time to react to stuff here. Okay, that was pretty cool. That was fun. And now we're back to very, very slow movement and shooting on a low contrast background. Well, I want to finish that level. I want to see, does this get better? Because I promise I'm not bad at shmups, but I mostly play ones that are a lot newer and I'm gonna say better than this. Like the shmups by Psychio are some of my favorites, like Gunbird 2, Gunbird, Strikers 1945, that series. But those have, you know, responsive controls and colorful visuals. I'm gonna say Scramble Spirits. Oh, Wonder Boy 3, that's the one that's really worth playing on Master System and had a modern remake. Let's play a bit of this. Hey, thank you, Culture Shocker. Yeah, the CRT setup. I thought that was pretty cute. And thank you for stopping by. Yeah, Antrois, the 19XX games were fun. And towards the later ones, like Strikers 1945 Part 2 and Strikers 1999, they started having such, like, crazy cool, hyper-detailed boss stages. Whoops. Yeah, this is another one where I'm gonna say, it's a great game, just play it on the Master System, or play the modern remake. Seems like a weird choice to include on this collection, but... There we go. I will say, the visuals here are very attractive, though. A lot nicer than the Master System version. Oh. All right, we're gonna move on from that. That was a little embarrassing. Gain Ground. This is another that I know mostly as a Genesis game, and that I've never been good at. Like, not even a little. This one's really great for co-op, though. Oh. Yes, dog. Come on. Hold on, I gotta distract the dog. Here. Go get it. All right. Yes, Gain Ground has superb tracks. This was one I've never been good at. Now, if any of you watch the YouTube channel Game Sack, I believe this is one of Dave's favorite games of all time. Ooh, photosensitivity warning there, class. So there's a lot of tactical depth in this game, but it runs... Ooh, favorite Genesis games for me, Culture Shocker. One of my all-time favorite shmups is Musha Aleste. That is one. Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles were some of my favorites. Phantasy Star 4. Phantasy Star 4 is one of the best RPGs ever made. God, there's so many. Landstalker is a favorite of mine. Thinking of how the Poyo games are on this little arcade unit, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which was a US localization of Poyo Puyo, is one of my favorite Genesis games. I will just sit down and play that start to finish every now and then when I feel bored. Other favorite Genesis games for shmups, love Truxton, it's Tatsujin in Japan. Come on. Get out of these guys' way. They really could have just given us... Oh, yes. Aladdin on Genesis was excellent. Totally different game than the SNES version. Really, all those Disney games like Mickey Mouse, Castle of Illusion, World of Illusion, those are excellent. The Disney games on Sega were, as a rule, excellent. Oh my god, Kamiyana. When I got to the Mean Bean part in Sonic Mania, I was losing my mind. That was the coolest thing they could have done. Sonic Mania, also, what a good game. Just really proving that Sega has no idea what they're doing with Sonic. Oh god. Lion King, yep. That's hard. That's very hard. Trying to remember other... Can I make a run for it? Nope. Other favorite, see, this is where you want a co-op partner because you want someone who has a weapon that can, get enemies on the higher level. Allies that can gain ground, maybe you would say. Gain Ground is really best as a co-op game. Oh, Crackdown is one I never understood very well. Stopped playing the main game, went to the extras to play Mean Bean. And Troy's, I'm not kidding, when I got to that part, after I finished playing Sonic Mania, I put that down. I was playing Sonic Mania on my Switch. I put that down. I went and I popped Mean Bean Machine in my Genesis and played it. It was... Oh, I love Mean Bean Machine. Destroy the enemy base. As Ben and Andy, the mission is to infiltrate the occupied city and destroy everything with a new time bomb. Alright. This is a game that I've never really put any time into and don't understand how it works. Ooh, but this presentation's snazzy, and I'm loving this meaty FM bass. Oh. I think this is... Oh, I can sneak along the wall. Oh, is this going to be a stealth mission? Alright. This is kind of cool. Okay, I can see... Oh, I see on the map up top... Oh! I've got to get... Okay, I've got to get to certain points, plant the bomb, and then get out, maybe? Oh, this is not easy. Very slow movement. Whoop. Well, that's a game over. This would be really fun co-op, it looks like. Alright. Golden Axe. Really? ZX Spectrum. Golden Axe, I feel, is a game that needs no introduction. Well, it depends who did the soundtrack, Antroist, because if you had someone like Tim Follin doing the soundtrack, who is a complete wizard, he could make, you know, the little beeper on the ZX Spectrum turn into an incredible, like, symphony just through his brilliant programming. Hold on, let me pull up what I mean. So, for those who don't know, the, Oh, does that not mute it? Hold on one sec. Let me... Just a sec. Do you not want to... Okay. Doesn't want to mute itself for whatever reason. The ZX Spectrum does not have a proper sound chip. It has a beeper speaker that you can program to play notes using CPU cycles, basically. And Tim Follin was a genius composer and programmer. Did a lot of excellent NES soundtracks as well. Did, hold on, let me start this game so I can pause it at a point with no music. Yeah, absolutely. So keep in mind that the ZX Spectrum does not have a sound chip. You can make sound on it, but it's not, you know, you can't do proper multiphonic music. And yet, he made things that sounded like this on it. Ignore the flame sound. This, like, bonkers prog rock style music on something that's essentially just a 1-bit, you know, the only real values that the ZX Spectrum has is on or off. You know, there's no ASDR envelope, there's none of that. This is just genius programming work. Or something like... like super cool, funky music. So, if Crackdown was also on the Spectrum, the music theoretically could have sounded like that if you had someone like Tim Follin doing the work. But now let us go into Golden Axe. This is a game I always enjoyed, but have never actually been very good at. And it's another one where there's no in-game music. Honestly, probably for the best. Golden Axe, one of the most influential beat-em-ups of all time, and still one of the most fun. This was kind of riding that 80s wave of, you know, sword and sandal, sorcery, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Conan the Barbarian, you know, Red Sonja, like, all that, you know, great sword and, you know, sorcery style stuff. Or in the, you know, cheap direct-to-video market stuff like Beastmaster, Ator the Fighting Eagle. You know, these terrible B-movies that are super-duper fun. You know, Golden Axe was there doing it in the video game world. I do love the Conan movies, though. They're very fun. And those cheap, you know, usually straight to video movies like Beastmaster that would, you know, they'd all be made in Italy on a shoestring budget. Do any of you know what I'm talking about? Those are a good time. I wouldn't call them good movies, but I like them. Eat my magic. Right, Duck Duck Snow? Like, it's almost like the dumber the name, the better. Hey, mischievous little gnome, come here. I want magic. It's always seemed weird that you need to just beat up a little gnome to get your magic in this game. Our sworn enemy, Death Adder, is in his castle. We'll take a shortcut through the Turtle Village. That's something this game did well, was, you know, sure it's a beat-em-up and there's no, you know, not that there's no story, there is a story, clearly. But it gave you this sense of being on an adventure by doing just those little touches like having that map screen or showing you villagers running away from, you know, the evil forces of Death Adder. You know, really, really tiny details, but they go a long way towards making this feel like, you know, a unique world. That and just the fact that we're on the back of a giant turtle is cool. Ah, it's too slow. This is kind of... Yeah, exactly. Small world building can do a lot. I feel like, you know, there's almost no in-between. Sometimes things give you too little, or sometimes they'll beat you over the head. Yeah, but like, look, you've got... beat up a gnome to get magic. Also, good to see you, Jirio Kakana. Oop. Just took a death. No. Oh, that was satisfying. Get on the dragon thing. Yeah. There we go. Eat fire. Power Nelson can't play this game. Hey, stop beating up that village woman. There we go. Oh no. More of them. Did any of you play the quite bad modern reboot attempt at Golden Axe back in the like PS3 360 era, Golden Axe Beast Warrior? It's just a really, really mediocre 3D beat 'em up. I know I said I was just gonna do one credit per game, but I'm having too much fun. I gotta keep playing for a while. Yeah, it was pretty bad, Antroist. It was just... So it was given to a studio with very little experience, and they had grand ambitions, that they neither had the budget nor talent to realize, which is a shame because it's the kind of game where you look at it and you think, the village was on the back of a giant turtle. The turtle takes us south across the sea. It was the kind of game where on paper it sounds like it should be good and should work well, and I have no doubt that it could have in the hands of, a more competent studio with a bigger budget. But, through multiple delays, eventually getting rushed out of the door, the game came out and just was, besides being kind of a mediocre, boring game by its own merits, it was also pretty buggy. So it was just not very interesting and not very good. Which, the not interesting part is less forgivable to me than some bugs or some jank. I clearly don't mind games with some jank. It's ending up boring that's the real tragedy, if you ask me. Golden Axe had an excellent home port, by the way. It was one of the games that really did a good job selling the Genesis or the Mega Drive for our European international friends. It's one of the things that really sold it as being, an almost arcade comparable experience at home. Even though, it is a compromised port compared to, the arcade, but it was close enough that, it really felt like you were getting the full fat arcade experience at home. Oh yeah, we got that level 4 magic. And even that wasn't enough. Have any of you played the, I don't want to say bad, but I don't want to say good either, Golden Axe fighting game called Golden Axe The Duel? I think it was on Neo Geo and Saturn. It's definitely on Saturn. I feel like it was in the arcade as well, though I'm not sure what hardware it was on. You've played it, Kamiana. Me too, Lurksing. I don't... How do you prefer the pronunciation? I want to make sure I get that right. Golden Axe is great game on Genesis. Avoid the Master System port if you ever have the opportunity. Lurksing. Got it. You know what? Eat level 4 magic, guy. Yeah, Golden Axe The Duel is not a particularly memorable game. What is a more memorable game is something that's on this Astro City Mini, and was actually one of the reasons I bought it, is Golden Axe The Revenge of Death Adder, which never came out on a home console, and had never been officially ported. Which is a real shame, because it's really good. Big budget, like 32-bit arcade beat-em-up. Oh, come here, I need meat. There we go. We have come in close vicinity of the castle, but the way is packed by enemy lines. We must dare the fiend's path to reach the castle. These little map screens and narration, they add so much flavor to the game. And they make you kind of forget that, you're really doing the same thing over and over. But it never stops being fun because, it's fun doing this same thing over and over. Beat-em-ups are fun. Oh, come on. There we go. Trying to manage, the crowds around you is difficult, and is why, you'd always want to play these co-ops so you had someone to watch your back. I think one of the worst offenders of that was the Simpsons arcade game by Konami, which is a game I absolutely love, but it's a, shameless quarter muncher of a game. And I don't mind. That's one that I've played with friends now, as an adult. We've been to, a bar that had, one of those machines, and we just stood around it and pumped quarters in it until we beat it. We probably spent like $15 on that arcade machine, but it was an absolute blast. That's honestly one of the most fun beat-em-ups because it understands, that you need to leverage the source material well in a licensed game, and it did, because, you know, you've got all your favorite, you know, Simpsons characters and locations, and the animation was spectacular. We've got fiends. Eat my magic, fiends. There we go. Golden Axe has actually a lot more games than you would expect as a series. There's a really quite good kind of Zelda 2 clone on Game Gear called Golden Axe Axe Battler. And there was a Zelda clone on Master System as well. Golden Axe, I'm trying to remember, maybe that was Axe Battler. Yeah, and Legend of, there were a bunch. But, you know, unabashed Zelda clones that were quite good. Oh, I'm getting ganked by skeletons here. That's interesting, end choice. The Simpsons game filtered you just, like, by virtue of being a Simpsons game. I had some Simpsons games on NES as a kid that I liked a lot because they were Simpsons, but boy, they were bad games. Like Bart versus the World. Yes, hello, dog. You've gone... Oh, exactly. Whenever I see skeletons as a game enemy in something like this, I always think of, you know, like the old Jason and the Argonauts movie with the Ray Harryhausen, you know, stop-motion animation. Something about those scenes, they're so exciting. Or, also Harryhausen, but much earlier, was, Sinbad in the Seventh Voyage. Has a fight with only one skeleton, but the quality of the animation and the interaction between, you know, the actor, who was filmed on a clean plate, you know, interacting with nothing, and the, you know, interspliced in, you know, stop motion is so good and so seamless that even now, you know, I think that was a 1958 movie or something, even now it's exciting to watch. Yeah, those little details, you know, like, he never did anything halfway. And for any science fiction nerds in the class, do you know who one of Ray Harryhausen's lifelong friends was? Another Ray. Ray Bradbury, the science fiction author. The two of them were close friends. And Harryhausen worked on a very loose adaptation of one of Bradbury's stories. Bradbury's story was, may have been called, whoops, may have been called The Lighthouse or something to that effect. And it was a quite sad story about a forlorn, you know, prehistoric sea monster who hears the keening call of a lighthouse and is summoned to shore looking for, you know, a long-lost mate, only to find a lighthouse and, you know, in sadness and desperation, you know, tears it down. But, yes, Duck, Duck, Snow. Those little details, it sell you that they're there. But that Bradbury story became the basis for the creature feature, The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, which predates Godzilla, I believe, and is one of the first, you know, big stop-motion creature features like that. And that's another one where, you know, I think it was 1953 or so, but the quality of the stop-motion work is so good. You know, he had such excellent command of, you know, the shadows being correct on something, you know, to make it look like the beast was going down a city street and actually interacting with things there. But, you know, even though it obviously looks less real than, you know, something made in today's modern, you know, photorealistic CGI, your brain has an easier time thinking of it as real because you're looking at something that was a real physical object in the real world. You know, it's part of why you look at the original Star Wars trilogy, and they still look great. You know, because you're looking at things that were actually there. Whereas, in the prequels and the sequels, some of the CG already is looking a little less believable. Whereas, you look at something like, the fantastic stop-motion work for the AT-ATs on Hoth in Empire Strikes Back. That was just painstaking, frame-by-frame stop-motion with some brilliant motion blur added in filming that give you such a good sense of, a real thing. I also just think Jason and the Argonauts it's a fun movie, It has that sense of adventure that's so hard to put your finger on, but it's like, when it's there. It's that sense that there's always something more, something else just beyond what you can see. And that's something that this does very well, and I'd be willing to bet money that, the game designers at Sega, when they were making this, had something like Jason and the Argonauts in mind, or Conan the Barbarian. Things where it seems like there's just a little more magic and mystery right around the corner. Right out of sight. Oh, come here, you little gnome. Oh, nice. Oh, good, I've got the most powerful magic now. I can't be stopped. So, Lurksing, I would say watch, Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. Don't bother with the modern ones, just watch those 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger ones. Yes, the storytelling equivalent of a chest tucked behind the waterfall in an RPG. Excellent way to put it, Duck Duck Snow. Yes, exactly, Kamiyana. And, one of the first computerized camera control systems in film history was developed for A New Hope. I think it was called the Dijkstraflex, after the guy at Industrial Light and Magic who developed it. But, they had to think about all those camera movements, because whatever they did, they're going to have to mat that shot out, shoot it again to get, a blank plate without the filmed element in, and then layer them together and then shoot that to get the final shot. Old school compositing with, dozens and dozens of layers. But if you do it right, it looks so good. I'm just pumping quarters into Golden Axe. I want to beat this now. I love this game. And I'm not trying to 1cc it or anything or pretend I'm good at it. I just like it and I'm having fun. Okay, here's something, class. So we're now in, the age of big budget adaptations of things. Yes, exactly, Antrois. Limitation breeding creativity. But we live in the era of the big budget, Netflix adaptation. Would you watch a Golden Axe TV show? Or a Golden Axe film? Do you think it could work? Because I would love just, a straightforward, unapologetic, sword and sorcery. I don't want to say cheap, but, no, I kind of do want to say cheap. Thinking of like, Beastmaster or Ator, those very cheesy, low-budget movies that they just cranked out in the 80s to, capitalize on the popularity of things like Conan that would show up. Workman-like quality. That's a very generous way to put it, Duck Duck Snow. You know what I mean, though. Something that's made with all sincerity, but not necessarily with, a ton of skill or money. Oh. Oh, this music is so good. I wonder if when they were making this game... Yeah, resources 0, heart 100. Wonder if when they were making this, they were like, okay, this boss is definitely going to cost, like, at least 500 yen to beat. I'm sure that you can 1cc Golden Axe, and that I know that I'm not very good at the game. That's not in question. I know that. Yeah, boss difficulty rated and money value. I wonder, were they like, this boss must at minimum cost the average player 500 yen. Oh, got him. Oh, that's so metal. I wish it was in the middle of the screen. There we go. Congratulations. I see what you mean, Lurksing. Oh no! Oh no, they've bust out of the arcade game into the real world. Got lots of nice little Sega references. We've got Opa Opa there. That's another thing, like these cute little credit scenes. Video game, Doi Doi. Pokari Sweat instead of Pokari Sweat. Oh, the bird mounts are super cool. And the bird mounts are the kind of thing that, like, if this were a cheap 80s movie, you'd get, like, one really good, like, stop-motion shot of it, and then the rest would be, like, all neck-up puppets that you can only see a little bit of. Presented for you by Sega. See you next game. Well, there we go. Stage 1, 0 deaths. Stage 2, 2. Stage 3, 3. Stage 4, 4. Stage 5, 19 deaths. Oh god, the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie Antroist? The one that looked like it wanted to be Blade Runner? Well, we've beaten Golden Axe. So let's go and take a look at Cyber Police E-SWAT. Only those who survive in the city can become Task Force E-SWAT. Arrest the boss to transform. No, don't give me Pachis for that. I died 19 times on the last level. The other levels I was doing pretty well, but... Mario, Luigi Mario lives in your mind to this day. I don't blame you, Doc Pestis. Sega International Bank. Was that a bad guy, or did I just blow... Okay, they're bad guys on skateboards. For a second, I thought I just blasted a kid on a skateboard. Whoop. Hey, thank you, Mechanized Doge. TV overlay's a lot of fun. Whoop. Ooh, Golden Axe, Rankin and Bass. Now, would it be Rankin and Bass like, Rudolph, or Rankin and Bass like The Last Unicorn? I remember I was blown away when I learned that The Last Unicorn... Okay, here's a debate, class. Is The Last Unicorn anime? Yes or no? In favor of saying that The Last Unicorn is anime is that it was a Rankin Bass production, it was animated by Studio Topcraft, who had animated for Macross, and who, when Topcraft shut its doors, one half of that studio's talent went on to become Studio Ghibli. Topcraft, I think... Either Topcraft or just Miyazaki also directed one of the Lupin the Third movies. And if you look at, The Last Unicorn, you look at some of those character designs and you're like, oh yeah, that's just Macross, 100%. And I mean that as a compliment. Yeah, a lot of series were, outsourced to Japan. A lot were... Oh, don't shoot the girl. She's sturdy if she can withstand several headshots at this point. I'm trying to just... Yeah, right? Now a lot of animation's outsourced to Korea, which has its own animation industry entirely. Alright. Yeah, Santa Claus is coming to town. A lot of Japanese crew. I don't know about the Rankin and Bass Hobbit. I would need to check. So Shadow Dancer, part of the Shinobi series. I've never liked nearly as much as either the first Shinobi or Shinobi 3. Yeah, a lot of in-betweens are animated in Korea. I actually, in, I think it was 2013 or 2014, I went to a small animation museum in Seoul, in South Korea. It was very cool to see, you know, both for domestic and foreign animations, what the, whoops. Wrong button. What the actual business of animating looks like. It was kind of cool to see. Heat Miser and Snow Miser. Yup. Actually, if any of you know, on YouTube, there's a guy who goes by the name of Worthy Kids. He's done some animations. I did not know that, Doc Pestis. Drop a link in the chat. I'd be curious to see. A Miser Brothers Christmas. Interesting. But there's a great channel on YouTube called Worthy Kids. And yeah, the Big Top Burger guy, Kamiana. Love Big Top Burger, but he's made several animations in the style of those old Rankin and Bass productions. I'm gonna move on from Shadow Dancer because I'm not very good at it, and I don't like it as much as Shinobi. Ooh, Alien Storm. Very cool beat 'em up. Attack, destroy, and enjoy the exhilarating mayhem. Beat the aliens in 3 different scenes. A riveting cyber action game. Attack, roll, special attack. Alright, let's give it a try. Oh yes, this one has some... Are D-makes still a trend? I would like more D-makes that actually stick to, like, the hardware limits of what they're emulating. Menu here, hold on, was like hamburger, coffee, and takoyaki. What an assortment. Oh, this is super cool looking. Now we're in the golden age, you know, that like second golden age of the arcade, where you've got some of the highest quality beat-em-ups, you've got, you know, amazing graphics and music. Yeah, hot dog, coffee, hamburger, takoyaki. What a menu. Alien burgers, alien busters. Let's go. There's nothing more metal than a robot skull. Exactly. Oh, so I have played this one a number of times in the arcade, and my main memory of it, besides it being cool, is that the control is super fast, but super twitchy as well. But also just great kind of gross-out monster designs. Oh, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You can tell they had just watched, you know, The Thing when they designed that. Moonwalker was actually a pretty fun game. And Michael Jackson was a huge, huge Sega fan. Like, his personal arcade collection was unbelievable. I love these, like, gross-out monster designs. The kind of thing that as a kid you would play at the arcade, and then your mom would come over and say, "What are you doing?" Yes, he did make some of the music for Sonic 3, which they tried to deny for a long, long time because I don't think... there was some, legal dispute about it. Actually, if you listen to the DOS version, the PC version of Sonic 3, it has different music to the Genesis version. And it's pretty bad. That was the original soundtrack before basically MJ was hired on to fix it. And if you listen to, something like Ice Cap Zone, it has almost the exact same progression as Smooth Criminal. Bum bum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-bum bum 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 ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum. It's very cool. But yes, it was recently finally confirmed, after decades of being an urban legend, Michael Jackson did in fact do music for Sonic 3. Part of why the music for Sonic 3 is so good. Yeah, here we go. More of those little details. People running away. Yeah, Duck Duck Snow. There was definitely some kind of dispute where for whatever reason he didn't end up being credited. I can just drop a missile on them. This is the kind of game that really, really lived, by attracting, that big crowd because they're looking at the, crazy monster designs and seeing all the wild stuff happening on screen. And people would line up and be like, I want to play that. Not that the game's not good on its own, because it is. But you know what I mean. It had that, attraction where the wild visuals were like, wow, I can't play this at home. There we go. This isn't my favorite arcade beat-em-up, but this is pretty fun. This is the kind of game that if I saw it when I was out in an arcade, even talking like today, if I had some friends with me, I would be willing to, pump $5 into that machine and see if we can beat it. But we're gonna move on. Ooh, Columns. This was one I had on the Genesis. Well, still have on the Genesis. A lot of people love the Columns series. It's fairly standard puzzle game. Match 3. Right? So, this is your typical match 3 puzzle game, and you can shift gems. Columns, I never got as into it as I did things like Tetris or Poyo Puyo. I know Columns has a lot of fans, but it's just the Columns 3 box art guy. For some reason, Columns it never gripped me in the same way that those other puzzle series did. However, my mom was a huge, huge fan of Columns. I remember there being times where, I or my older brother wanted to play on the Sega, but we could not because my mom was playing Columns. I do like the music in Columns a lot. Though I've never been good at stringing together columns for big combos, and I just had a decent... Yeah, Mean Bean Machine, way more personality, and I think deeper mechanics overall. In as much as puzzle games can have deep mechanics. Whoops, I was looking too far ahead in my list of upcoming blocks, or columns, or whatever they're called. There we go. Yeah, let's go with that. And then you get something like that, which just throws a monkey wrench into everything. Right? It really does, Antroist. I'm still not very good at columns compared to other puzzle games. But it does I can't deny it has an addictive quality. Though I'm still not great at seeing the combos ahead of time the same way I can in other puzzle games. Whoops. Control is also quite twitchy. Composer worked on Phantasy Star 2. That makes a lot of sense. Do you know which composer it was? Phantasy Star 1, I think, is easily the best Tokuhiku Uwabo. Very cool. Phantasy Star 1, I think, is easily the best 8-bit JRPG. You know, I love the Final Fantasy series. I love Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior. They don't hold a candle to Phantasy Star 1. And Phantasy Star 1's better than a lot of 16-bit JRPGs, in my opinion. And for any of you who haven't played Phantasy Star, I mean, what are you doing? Go play Phantasy Star. But if you have... Whoops, I messed up. If you have a Switch, the Sega Ages version of Phantasy Star 1 is truly, truly excellent. Because it has a lot of very nice little quality of life features that are completely optional that I would highly recommend. Oh, Bonanza Bros. This was one I've played on Genesis that I'm not very good at. Anything is possible for us. Get the treasure within the time limit and escape to the exit. This is another one that really is more of a co-op game than a single-player game. And it being the Japanese version doesn't help, though I love the art style of this. Another one with very cool music. Yep, this is one where you can change layers. This is the tutorial level, but... Whoop! Thought I could get around him. I don't know how worth playing this one is in Japanese only. There we go. And we can get out. Excellent. Yeah, this is one that has a nice split screen effect if you have two people playing. However, I don't have another player here with me, so... Ooh, that's a good idea. You know, I am planning a trip to Japan for next year. It might not be a bad idea for me to play some simpler games in Japanese as a way to study. There we go. Whoop. How do I get up? I'm stumped by a door. Oh. The jump button, mayhaps. I forgot there was a jump button. Got him. And now the exit. There we go. Okay, this is still pretty playable as a one-person game. Yes, Dr. De La Plaga, this is a classic night. I am playing games currently on one of these, the Sega Astro City Mini. It's a tiny tabletop arcade cabinet, and it has HDMI out, so it's quite friendly for streaming. There we go. So this is Bonanza Bros currently. Normally a co-op focused game, but I am playing it solo at the moment. Oh, if I go up one more floor, I can take a zip line across. Okay. Whoop. Oh, he... he did what I was going to do to him. I've basically been going through the entire library of games on this and just moving on to the next game when I lose 1 credit's worth of life. Now I've got to ask why they decided to include both Columns 1 and Columns 2. You know, nothing against Columns, but it seems not that much changed between them. Columns 2, The Voyage Through Time. Then again, both Poyo Puyo 1 and 2 are on this, and I'm not complaining about that, because I love Poyo Puyo. Alright, I suppose this is fairly different. Oh, and this music is absolutely fantastic. Oh, I see. I need to get to the one that's in the center, that orange one. But yeah, Doc Pestis, basically I just decided, or Dr. De La Plaga, sorry, I was looking quickly, that it would be a lot of fun to go through, you know, a bunch of old arcade games and see, I think it was Kamiana. Okay, I can finally... There we go. That's how you clear the stage. You have to get the one that's flashing. Okay, this is different. Very different. Warning! Oh god. Is that thing gonna kill me unless I break it? I think that's what it's warning me about. I guess I'm gonna die. Okay, if I can lower that, maybe. I will say, I'm loving the music in this, and I also now... I retract my statement about, you know, why include Columns and Columns 2. They can't be that different. But they're pretty different. So I take it back. Now I need to get all the way down there. Okay, I'm almost there. This is tricky because it's... I've got to, you know, think my way through the puzzle, but I've got to do it quickly because there's no time to think, really. Oh god, another death block. Okay, this is getting difficult really quickly. Oh, that was close. That was almost bad. There we go. Okay. I can nearly get to the... Oh, I thought that would do it. Oh, I think I'm hosed. Yeah, I'm hosed. That was difficult. Okay, so Columns 2 is pretty cool. I think I like that more than Columns 1. Ooh. Now this is a classic. Thunder Force AC. This is basically just the arcade version of the Genesis game Thunder Force 3. The Orn Emperor is planning to take over the galaxy, pilot the highly mobile fighter Styx, and restore peace to the galaxy. Technosoft were the kings of side-scrolling shmups on the Genesis. Now, I am more familiar with this as a Genesis title than as an arcade title. Oh, I don't want full speed. There we go. I am going to use the turbo button a bit to not mash my fingers in... Well, Oh, maybe I'll mash into oblivion. That's kind of fun. Oh, this is the good stuff. This does feel very fun on the arcade stick, Kamiana. Though I will say, I can feel the slight bit of input lag that, playing over the HDMI out introduces versus playing on, the actual unit screen. It's very minor. I'm not playing through my OBS screen. I have my OBS screen up to, confirm that things look right, but that would introduce way too much lag. All the different options. There's so much strategic depth in this game. Which I know probably sounds silly to say about a shmup if you aren't, a shmup player. But these games, they live and die by the flexibility... Oh, I flew right into that. By the flexibility they give the player. And this is, some of the best, because you've got all these different options for how you want to approach a level. And you can power them up individually. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is so good. Also, this is another one where the music is just absolutely spectacular. Yes, Zero Wing is a great game. It became a meme back in the, the early internet YTMND days for, its very funny localization. All your base R belong to us. But unsarcastically, Zero Wing's a great game. And it actually recently, I think this year, or late last year, got an official US release on the Genesis. A brand new, retail Genesis game that you could go and buy. Oh, buy online. I'm a big fan of new games coming out for old consoles. Which is why I broke one of my promises to myself to not kickstart things. To kickstart a new Game Boy Color RPG called Infinity. It was originally slated to come out in 2001 and had even been shown, I believe, at E3 2000. But the Game Boy Advance was then announced, and the team didn't have the resources to move the game over, and it ended up getting canceled. Fast forward to about 2016 or so, and a near-complete ROM of Infinity, the 2000 build, had leaked online and restored a lot of interest in the game, so much of the original team was able to get back together and decided to kickstart a finished version of the game. So I have backed it, and I am very much looking forward to, I think, spring of next year, when I will have a new physical Game Boy Color game to play. Not just an old game that I hadn't played before, but an honest-to-goodness, brand new Game Boy Color game. Yeah, Antroist, I think it's all about, with Kickstarter, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But this is a case where, I have no doubt that they're going to be able to deliver a product. And from what they've shown of the game, it does look very good. Oh, I'm playing quite poorly. I don't have the brain power to provide interesting storytelling and decent level Thunder Force gameplay. Okay. Ooh. I should hook up some of my older systems, because I would love to do a night like playing Star Soldier on NES. That was the first shmup I ever remember playing. And I still love it to this day. And it was quite impressive for the time, I feel. And Hudson's Star Soldier series obviously, went on for years and years. Moving to the TurboGrafx 16. And then one entry on the N64, which is actually pretty good and one of the only shmups on the N64. It's like that and Bangai-O, which was Japan only. There's one half of the boss. Oh, yeah. It's like a rule that side-scrollers have to have those lurksing. There we go. Oh, so I'm sure you all know, class, the trend of old video game soundtracks getting remastered and released as, you know, proper vinyl records. A lot of shmups have been getting that treatment, so, you know, I keep buying them. Like Darius or Darius, or however you want to say it, had one. Some other Taito games have as well. I would pay top dollar for a Thunder Force 4 proper LP. So now we're moving further forward into time. Radmobile here. Racing game. 3D in the sense that it uses amazing scaling to create, you know, an illusion of 3D. And it's so cool looking. And fun fact, do you see that that Sonic... Hold on, I gotta restart because I need to see what the controls are. Whoops. No, it's wiper, headlight, brake, accelerator. Got it. That little Sonic the Hedgehog, what do you call them? Dashboard ornament. That was Sonic's first appearance in a Sega game. This was before Sonic the Hedgehog 1 came out. But yeah, just look at this. Super fast, super cool looking. Yeah, a cameo, but before he even had his own game. But look at this. Tell me this isn't the coolest thing. Yeah, foreshadowing. You gotta go fast. It's so fast, so smooth. Just got some air. This did get a home port to the Sega Saturn. Beware of oncoming oh god. Yeah, right? You can even see what's in front of you. Oh my god. You really need twitch reflexes for this. Oh, I'm dead. Whoop. There we go. Oh, I'm out of time. Game over. Right? The road has, you know, height, banks. It's got, you know, interesting scenery off to the side. It's like if Outrun was, you know, first person. Oh. That head-on crash is alarming. But if you look closely, you can see that, you know, it's not polygons or true 3D, but lots and lots of little slices of 2D elements stacked and arranged. Yeah. Old arcade racers are ruthless. They're completely unforgiving. You've got... Yep, I'm out of time again. I wonder if Spike has played this. I'm sure he has. Beware of oncoming car. There we go. I wanna clear this stage. Oh god. I keep just immediately having a head-on collision. But even look at that little Sonic, you know, he's got so much detail. And look, you can see the cars appear in my rearview mirror when I overtake. So cool. Okay, we've passed the rival. Oh, we're all over the place. There we go. Now we're on to Vegas. Oh, I've got to turn my headlights on. Look at that. Headlights on or off, and it lights up the road. How cool is that? Oh, God. Now, I've not been to Vegas, but I don't know that there's a huge looping road to nowhere with a 45-degree banked turn in it. Though if it exists anywhere, it probably is Vegas. Oh, now we're going. I gotta actually use the brake to not fly off the side. This is intense. This is super cool. Oh, God. Oh, I thought I went flying off the side. That would have been bad. Oh, I've run out of time. That's very fun. That's very difficult. Very difficult. Let's see. Ooh, next up, a classic cute-em-up, Cotton. The witch, Not Today Cotton, shows her might. Team up with fairies and use magic to beat the monsters and save Fairyland. A super cute side-scrolling shooter. It is. And actually, this just got a modern re-release in the Cotton Shooting Collection. And we'll be getting Cotton 2, which was never released in the West, coming out soon, I believe, on Switch and PS4, and hopefully PC as well. I bought the Cotton Shooting Collection for Switch. But it's also on here. And, I mean, what else can I say? It's Cotton. It's super cute. I think everybody knows Cotton, or knows of it, just because it was such a unique thing. I'm not great at Cotton. You know, I don't know all the systems, like what shooting all the power-ups does. Oh. But I feel like cute-em-ups are a really underappreciated subgenre. There we go. Cotton also, spectacular music. I know I mentioned them before, but for anybody who watches GameSack, when they did their episode on the Sharp X68000, which was a very powerful Japanese home computer from the late 80s, made by Sharp, obviously, it had an excellent port of Cotton. And the keyboard on the X68000 has little lights, and they light up and beep in time to the music on the title screen, and it's incredibly cute and a nice touch. Like we were talking about earlier, the kind of attention to detail that really, you know, elevates a game or a piece of media. And yes, that is a very sinister moon. There we go. Now I'm getting into the groove now. Ooh, we just got a nice power-up, too. There we go. Whoop! Oh, I love that screen shaking effect. Let's hit him with the powered-up shot. This boss won't stand a chance. Oh, I think we've got him. I can keep avoiding the projectiles. Got him. Tea time. There we go. Alright, I think I did pretty well there for that first stage. Thank you. I do wish this was translated. You know what, looking at it though, this looks like mostly, you know, hiragana, katakana. That probably wouldn't be too hard to read if I was just starting out. The interesting thing for me when I go about learning Japanese, so all through undergrad, which is a long time ago at this point, I took Mandarin, Chinese, and I still speak it pretty well, but I'm mostly illiterate now. Because if you don't practice every single day, you just won't You won't remember. Ikuzo, let's go. But yeah, for, you know, literacy in Chinese, it's every day, or, you know, you just won't achieve literacy. And, you know, that's fine. You know, it's actually been quite useful, and I've been able to use it in conversation. Plenty. And that's enough for me, honestly. But it means that when I look at some kanji, they're ones that I recognize from Mandarin, where I understand the meaning of the Japanese word, but I don't know how to say the word in Japanese, if that makes any sense. So something like, having to write Japanese to talk to has made you memorize more commonly used kanjis. Yeah, I can believe that. It's a good point, Lurksing. You know, I grew up with games being, you know, score-based. Let's keep moving. Ooh, Arabian Fight. This was one that was never released for the home. And it's a fairly standard beat-em-up, but it has some of the most spectacular visuals of any game from that period, and you'll see what I mean in a sec. You've just got attack and jump, very basic controls, but spectacular scaling visuals in and out with big, big special attack animations. I think pretty transparently, you know, cashing in on the popularity of something like Aladdin. Let's see. Let's just be whatever this standard guy is. 2-player co-op, which is always nice to see. But just look at the size and detail of these sprites and the enemies coming in. Yes, very much like Dungeons & Dragons, Shadows of Mistara. Only this came out in 1991. This was years before that from Capcom. The Capcom one's a much better game, don't get me wrong. This is, you know, a pretty simple beat-em-up, even by the genre standards. But the visuals are just spectacular. You know, the pseudo 3D scaling in and out. Big detailed sprites, fluid animations. You know, you've got that line scrolling to create a 3D effect. Oh, we've got a boss. Let's use magic. Can I not use my magic? I had it on the other screen. Okay, now I can. Yeah, look at this. Absolutely spectacular. Whoa! He's escaped on a dragon thing. They really found the best voice actors they could, huh? But yeah, the visuals in this game are really just phenomenal. As a game, it's fine. You know, it's pretty basic. I'm sure it would be more fun co-op. But that's true of, you know, every beat 'em up. I can't think of any that are more fun by yourself. But the scaling in and out of the screen is really, really nice. Very smooth. Gives the game a more, you know, fleshed out feeling than just random office worker who happened to be around to record number 45 is my favorite game, say you. Honestly, if that were my legacy... Okay, I want to point out, the first level's boss was named Shoulder, and this one's is named Elbow. I don't know why, but I'm kind of into that. That's funny. Oh, I can do some cool magic. This is really only a 2-button game, which is almost inexcusably basic, I think, for a fighter or a beat-em-up from 1991. You know, we had much better beat-em-ups by that point in arcade history. Oh, he just keeps screaming. We're going down into the pyramid. But, oh, that's so cool! Coming to life out of the hieroglyph. And animating as if they're, you know, stone. It's little details like this that, you know, this was something that you could never get on a home system in 1991. You know, nothing would have the power. Yeah, very interesting design choice. I think it works well for what they're doing. As a game, though, Paper Mario before Paper Mario. I mean, yeah. As a game, not that interesting. Much more interesting as a game is the Golden Axe we never got at home on any system. Golden Axe: The Revenge of Death Adder. This was a proper 32-bit, one of Sega's first System 32 games. And the level of visual fidelity here is astonishing. Like, you know, Golden Axe 1 needed compromises to run on the Genesis. This wouldn't have run on anything. This probably could have run on the Saturn. But the Saturn wouldn't come out for several years yet, not till 94. And I think by then, Sega unfortunately didn't have the same level of confidence in their arcade games as home ports as they did in the Genesis era. But I mean, look at this. The size of the sprites alone is really, really great. And this never had, I think, maybe it was in some Western arcades. I never saw it. Yeah, just like the depth of the color compared to... Yeah, this is as good as it gets, in my opinion. See, Lurksing, I think the Saturn's worth it now. Especially if you get, like, an Action Replay and RAM expander cartridge. Because then you can play imports. And a lot of the Saturn's best games never left Japan anyway. I've got some questions. I've got some questions. How is a centaur riding a bug? How does that work? Yeah, Centaur from Shining Force 2. Okay, how does... how does that work? I'm very confused by how a centaur hops out of her own legs to ride something else. Come here, you little gnome. Let me beat the magic out of you. She just takes off the horse body prop. You know, I can't think of that many video games with playable centaurs. One of those American Gladiator staves. I mean, kind of. I don't know what the technical term for the, you know, the big Q-tip you beat people with is. We got a big barbarian woman. She just gonna give me a noogie? Oh no, Boleros. Parasitic centaur body dojin. Yeah, centaurs are very complicated. If you think about their anatomy too much, it gets weird. Oh, here's great gimmick, the level going from side-scrolling to vertical scrolling. Here, you fat little gnome. Give me your food. And then you can have a level that just transitions straight away into something else. You know, there's no seams like there would have been before. Give that guy the horse kick. There we go. Oh, his skull is shattered from that. So I like that she's got painted hooves. Oh. There we go. Free those people. Use some magic. Crack that guy's skull open. Get out of here, you jerks. Eat my magic. Oh, that didn't kill any of them. Oh, they're stunned. Oh! Oh, that guy's toast. Oh, I think you would like Golden Axe the Dual Gyaru. I can imagine you, like, organizing a tournament for that. There we go. Golden Axe the Duel, unfortunately, is not on the Astro City Mini, which seems like an oversight. Especially when you've got, like, both Columns 1 and Columns 2. Haha, I dropped your tent on you, you big idiot. Oh, God. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. Who's laughing now? No, I'm gonna be stern here. Oh, yeah. Boleros, this is incredible, and it's such a shame that this never got a home port. Can I... Ooh! The animations are excellent, too. Okay, let's cheese him. Let's just wait till he stands up and keep him zapped. There we go. Come on. Get back on your mount. Nope. Almost. Let's finish him with magic. Oh, that magic... Oh, no, it got him. Oh. Come here. Let me beat the magic out of you, you weird little gnome. There we go. The Blanca strategy, absolutely. Love these little screens in between. I wish I could read. Ooh. Lava or forest? Let's go lava. Branching level paths. Just lots of... Oh, look at that animation. It's so smooth. Let me... Oh, that gets me some light. Let's let this guy out. There we go. Free that guy. Hey, don't take prisoners. That's not cool, man. Come on. Games like this are a little harder without a buddy to watch your back, though. Now, I'm not claiming to be good at beat-em-ups. Far from it, in fact, but... yeah, I'm gonna pump some more quarters into this. And just immediately use magic to win. Oh, yeah. Oh, the crunch sound it made. That was gnarly. That's a Wilhelm scream, I think. Did anyone else recognize that? There we go. Yeah. So this came out a lot later. Like, this was, I think, 1992. Lurksing, and this was on the Sega System 32 hardware. So this was a full 32-bit system. It was a lot more powerful than anything that could have been attempted on, you know, the earlier hardware. Which is why you've got, you know, such detailed animations, so many different, you know, scenes transitioning one to the other, no, you know, no delay, no loading. And a lot more voice samples. Oh, let's break these. Break the wall. Oh. See, do I need to run? I think I need to run into the screen now. Let's be the big dude. And then you've got kind of cool novelty scenes like this. You know, something 3D-ish. Moving from one scene to another like that. It's very cool. Great music, great visuals. Real shame that they never ported this to home platforms, because I feel like this could have been... You know, if this was on the Saturn, I feel like that would have been a big draw for, you know, people who are big fans of arcade-style games, which really, that was the Saturn's big strength compared to, you know, the PlayStation and the N64. It had a lot of just really excellent arcade conversions. The N64 had good arcade conversions for racing games, but for, you know, action titles, the Saturn had so many. There we go. I swear that's like a sampled Wilhelm scream. Whoops. Okay. Why would I want to let a bad guy out? Oh, probably to get to those resources. Are you trying to run away from me, Mr. Skeleton? That's not an option. We've got these cavemen here. Give them no quarter. Gotta let them get onto the screen, though. Now let's use some creepy magic on them. Skull with the hair still on it. That's pretty metal. There we go. Ooh, let's get all that magic. Death breath. It's got some gnarly morning breath. Oh, I can turn the lights back off. That's kind of cool. Alright, let's leave that for now, because we've only got a few more games on the system to look over. I'm actually going to skip Poyo Puyo 1, because Poyo Puyo 2 is at the end. Dark Edge was Sega's attempt at a 3D fighting game before Virtua Fighter. Before a polygonal 3D fighting game. They did one with just tons of scaling and rotation, and it's visually super impressive, but almost completely impossible to play. Dark Edge, the legend of 6 battleists who fight in 3-dimensional action, regain humanity's future and fight for hope. So this is a game that, like, trying to play it, I don't understand anything that's going on. Let's be hurt. Genie versus Thud. So just look at this. I mean, the visuals are incredible, but it's a nightmare to control and try to play. Because you're moving in and out in 3D, and the screen's moving every which way. It's such a trip to try to control. Right? Like that pre-3D transition era. Yeah, if Dead or Alive was impossible to control, maybe. It looks super cool. Like, if you were walking through the arcade and saw this, you would be like, I need to stop and check this out. Because it looks, you know, visually absolutely spectacular. Yeah, exactly, Duck Duck Snow. Like, the effects are incredible. It's borderline unplayable. You know, I'm just button mashing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, thank you, Bolaros. You're now seeing Dark Edge, which was Sega's attempt at a 3D fighter before Virtua Fighter. It's incomprehensible. I would love to see a tournament in this game, because I can't imagine that it's possible to be like good at this. I'm sure. Yeah, it's almost impossible to tell depth where you are relative to, you know, the other fighter. I mean, the visuals are incredible. This wouldn't have run on any home system in 1993. Also, the enemy fighter designs, like, what is that guy? What is he? This is... it's one of the strangest games. I'm super glad that they included this in the collection, because this is another one that obviously never had a home port before. And the arcade cabinet itself is exceedingly rare. I had never played it before getting this Astro City Mini. And, you know, I wouldn't have sought out a cabinet to play this. It's so weird. Like, what is that guy? Very strange game. We're gonna move on from that. I'm going to skip Tant R, which is a Bonanza Bros spin-off, because it's a puzzle action game that requires a lot of reading, and it's in Japanese only. Likewise with its sequel, Ichidant R. Not games that are really English-only player-friendly. Virtua Fighter, spectacular game, the dawn of polygonal 3D fighting games, should not be on this system. And I'm going to tell you why, but it will become pretty immediately obvious why, I think. And this is nothing against Virtua Fighter as a game. Hey, Regular Expression, good to see you. This little, you know, mini system, tabletop system, is not powerful enough to run Virtua Fighter at its full proper frame rate. It is quite stuttery and not a full 60 frames per second, or I think rather than 60 frames per second, the original refresh rate of the monitor for Virtua Fighter was like 59 point something hertz, which was pretty common in those days. But point is, this doesn't run as well as it should. And I feel like Sega just really wanted to have Virtua Fighter on here because it's such a recognizable game. And they thought, you know, that would be good for the branding and to help sell this. I think they would have been better served leaving it off, because look at the... I don't know. It's much choppier than it should be. And it spoils it a bit. You know, it's not that pleasant to play. Which is a shame, because Virtua Fighter is a very fluid game. It's still a great game, but it's a missed opportunity. Yeah, right, good unauthorized conversion machine using weird hacks energy. Like Street Fighter 2 Rainbow Edition. Now, because I had a 32X as a kid, that means I also had the 32X version of Virtua Fighter, which is, in fact, excellent. It's a great conversion. It's not as detailed visually as the arcade, obviously, but it runs extraordinarily smoothly and everything is intact. And it actually even has a widescreen option hidden in the menu. So it's one of the first games I know of for a home system with a native widescreen mode. Back in 1994. It might have been 95. I'd need to check. I know I didn't get it until 95, but it just feels like it's sad that, you know, while it doesn't look as good, the Sega 32X version of Virtua Fighter, I think, plays better than this one on, you know, the modern home mini console from 2021. You know, obviously this is the full arcade version, and, you know, blocky polygons aside, I think this actually still looks pretty great. You know, it's got a timeless style. Even if I'm not very good at Virtua Fighter, never have been, if I'm honest, I'm gonna leave that. Because it seems like such a shame that they've included, oh, we've got a third columns game, class. Just columns 1 and columns 2 weren't enough. A new element, stack chip, is added to raise the floor of the opponent. The effect will change depending on how you erase the magic stones. Sure. Spin and attack. Ooh, the visuals are a lot better, though. I don't know what these options mean. Let's find out. There's a gun. Why is there a gun in columns? That says 10 years something, but...
Las Vegas.
Why is there a gun in columns? Why is there a story mode in columns? It's kind of wild. Okay, at least the funky music trend continues. I feel like Columns is the kind of game that if you can, like, get into the groove, you'll be delivered to, like, oh, I see, I can attack now. I feel like if you get in the groove with Columns, you, like, enter a zen-like flow state where nothing can trouble you. You know, nothing bad can happen to you when you're in the column zone. Oh, I see. Okay, so you just give them effectively less space to maneuver. Okay, this is clever. Okay. Okay. You know what? I think of all the 3 versions of columns that are included in this package, this is probably the one I'm going to spend the most time playing. It's certainly got the most going on. There we go. I still have trouble visualizing combos in columns. Oh, what's this do? Okay, that was a waste. You know, in something like Poyo Puyo or Tetris, combos are... Well, Tetris isn't combos so much as setting yourself up. But I can visualize those pretty easily. This I have more trouble with. There we go. Some are obvious, but... Like, I cannot claim that that cool combo I just did was on purpose. Oh wow, I just buried him. Alright. Alright, maybe this is a version of columns I can be good at. We've got a tournament bracket going on, so let's see where it goes. I'm playing against a monkey. I feel like this is the kind of series that would have, like, a really ridiculously melodramatic story for no clear reason. I can get behind that. So I know I should be trying to set myself up for combos like that. That was completely accidental. I don't want to take credit for that. I guess I have trouble thinking in the right dimension for this game. Oh god, what just happened? And now's when I start to panic because I don't understand what I'm doing or what I've done. Okay. Really need an orange. There's an orange. Okay, so not only does it attack your enemy, it takes some of the pressure off yourself. That's good to know. Duck Duck Snow, I would love if you went and checked the Columns wiki, because I would not be surprised if that was the case. Because I know that's the case for Poyo. Oh, I think that just pushes it down. Okay. Okay, I was digging the music at first, but now this is just a meandering 12-bar blues that's not going anywhere. They gotta step it up. Oh god. There we go, there we go. Ooh, okay, that was a good one. Still having trouble, like, seeing the combos ahead of time. Just making things difficult. Oh, God. Well, the monkey got me. Don't slap your ass at me. That's rude. Okay, we're not going to continue that. That is fun, though. Okay, so now we come to the last game in the collection, and one of my favorites, Poyo Puyo 2. No shame in losing to a monkey, you're right. Poyo Puyo 2 is a spectacular game. I don't know why Poyo never got localized in the US as Poyo until much later, because on Genesis we had Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, a personal favorite game of mine. And on Super Nintendo, you had Kirby's Avalanche. They're spin-off Game Boy Advance games. So, I think everybody knows how to play Poyo. So let's just get into it. Now, I feel like if I say I'm pretty good at Poyo, I'm going to immediately be setting myself up for embarrassment. But I'm usually pretty good at Poyo. It is a shame that they didn't localize this, because Poyo games are full, generally, of very colorful characters. Whoops. Okay, so the arcade stick is very twitchy. Poyo, the meat of the game lies in setting up big combos to deal a lot of damage to your enemies all at once. And that means thinking a lot of moves in advance all at once. It's like when I drop this, that's a very simple two-stage combo. But you can get a lot bigger than that. So we'll get into it. I need to get in the zone. I do also love that the Poyos can separate, so you can kind of drip one off the edge onto another. So yeah, we're gonna do a pretty simple combo here. Oh, this guy's sweating already. Or I'm gonna try to... Well, that's not gonna do it. I just need to drop a... If I drop a green Poyo right there, I'll get a nice combo with the purple. Oh, I'm doing everything backwards. That's fine. Let's just drop the hammer on that guy. There we go. Yeah, stage 1 in Poyo is always trivial. It's when the enemies start setting up big combos that it gets tricky. So let's see how far we can go. As ever in Poyo, the challenge is thinking far enough ahead with your combos. And I don't want to get myself into a situation where... Oh, so when the enemy drops garbage on you, that can be cleared by popping a chain next to them. But, you gotta strike that balance between thinking far enough ahead and playing in such a way that you're going to win. Yeah. So originally I was going to try to pull off a combo there, but now I just want to get rid of the garbage around my pieces. Ooh. So this is when, you know... Oh. That's not great. Okay, there we go. Start digging ourselves out a bit. I can't tell if the arcade stick is twitchy or if I'm twitchy. Oh, I'm about to get buried. Okay. We're still in it. We haven't lost the fight yet. Okay, now we might be about to lose the fight. He's about to... Yeah, that's the level. Well, that was embarrassing on stage 2. No, we're gonna persist. We're gonna play some Poyo till we get to a decent level. Let's see how far we can take it. It is one of my favorite puzzle series. I ought to be able to put in a decent performance for you all. Okay. That's a little better. There we go. Yeah, I can't tell if the arcade stick isn't as responsive as I'd like, or if I'm just not very good. I know the saying is that a poor craftsman blames his tools, but I'm going to blame my tools. Now, if I had one more blue, that would have been a nice 3-stage combo. But I didn't want to give up the good in pursuit of the perfect there. Especially when we've got a nearly clear screen right now. There we go. I love the animations for the enemies that you're fighting. Because when they're doing poorly, you know, they get nervous and start sweating like that. But when they're doing well, they have these, like, really obnoxious shit-eating grins. And it's very, very entertaining to watch. Okay, here's a decent 2-stage combo. That should bury him. Not quite. We're almost there. So at this point, instead of building up a combo, I want to get as many small ones in a row as I can to kind of keep the pressure on. There we go. That should sink him. Yep. And now I think we advance to the next tier. Yep. The Poyo series has been going on for so long, but all these characters recur and keep coming back and have their own stories and everything. It's very charming. I think. Okay, so here's a nice, easy 2-stage combo setup. Right? You don't need to know the language to know what that sound means. Okay. Drop that, get a nice combo going. Eat that garbage. Eat the garbage. That'd be like Danny DeVito in It's Only Sunny. Like, yeah, I'm the trash man. I come out and I start throwing trash everywhere. I eat the garbage. Sorry, I can't do a very good Frank Reynolds. Ooh, that's nice. Though that mostly just served to defray the garbage he was sending my way. Poyo's one of those games that you have to, like... Your brain takes a second to adjust. But once you're in that mean bean zone... Start going with the flow. Feeling the mean bean. Let the mean bean course through you. He's dropping a lot of garbage on me. Oh, come on! They always manage to get you exactly where you need to be. Oh, I'm toast. Oh, I'm toast. Yep. Alright. That was a little embarrassing. I think I'm gonna wrap up tonight, class, by playing some more of Sega Ninja, which is Ninja Princess in Japan, because I was having a lot of fun with this earlier, and I want to see how far I can get. So we're gonna give ourselves, I think, four credits. We're gonna give ourselves $1 to play with, and see how far we can get. No, come on. Just want to throw it down. There we go. I'm going to apologize for the somewhat grating music compared to the games we were just playing. But this is just a very fun run-and-gun action game. And I want to see how far I can get. Oh, he's still trying to come up from behind. There we go. Got some 8-way shooting action, but also a button that lets you shoot forward no matter what direction you're moving. So you've still got some mobility. And I've just picked up a nice power-up that lets me shoot through things. There we go. These rocks are enemies in disguise. Do not be deceived. Ooh. If you're quick, you can deflect an enemy projectile with your own, which will save your life. Ooh. And you can use your ninja magic to dodge out of the way like that. But be careful, because you've got a timer to finish the level. So you need to take out the boss before that point. Oh! I was almost there. There we go. Gotta be quick. Oh, thought I was quick. Ooh, that was nice. That felt good. Well, I'm doing poorly now. I think this is my last life, and then it will be on to my second credit. Might just be that I'm getting tired. It is nearly 1 a.m. But even though I wasn't able to start stream until later tonight... There we go. That's the first level done. Ooh, hit ratio, 23%. It's not very good. Yeah, even though I didn't have a ton of time to stream tonight, I am trying to stream as often as I can, because I really enjoy it. I enjoy spending time with all of you. Ooh. Okay. That's our first credit down. We've got 2 left. Let's go for it. Now, this system does allow you to do save states, but I want to play this the old-fashioned way. I want to see, can I properly clear this game so that the next time, if I ever see this at an arcade, I can walk up to it and confidently clear it and feel like a very cool guy. Yeah, it is a bit painful. If it gets too grating, I could turn the volume on this down and put on some background music. Ooh, what was that? I mean, for a game from 1985 or 84, to have background music at all was pretty good. There we go. Okay. Now we're in the groove. Okay, yep, that's the boss. Got him. Right, that's the first level down. When I tell people I can clear Ninja Princess legitimately, they will immediately respect me. You know, it's just like how I can, you know, beat Plutonia from Pistol Start on Ultraviolence. Whoop! I thought I was slick going through his trap, but instead I walked right into it. Come on. There we go. Neat little detail. You walk slower in the water, just like in real life. Neat bit of realism for a game where you wouldn't expect any. Welcome to the rice fields. Oh, okay. Ooh, what was that? Feels like there's a lot of secrets just like hiding somewhere in this game. There we go. I know it's going to give me a lower hit ratio, but... Oh, I thought I got out of the way in time. I feel like it's worth having a lower hit ratio if it means, you know, I can preemptively get some people from a distance like this. Oh, he's fast! Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that was close. I had to unleash 1% of my true power there. There we go. This is not easy. Whoa! That's no fair. They're too fast. Oh god. Alright, well I set a high score. Now I know. They teleported behind me and it was personnel. No action replay time. We're back to stage 1. Time to see if we've learned. Let me crack my knuckles and not chuckle. Get at it. Okay. See if I can remember the stage I just played. I do like that you always have a button to throw your shurikens forward, because otherwise this game would be impossible. There we go, that's the move. Sneak behind him with your ninjutsu. Then plant a knife in his back. I would love to watch, like, a high-level playthrough of this where people don't miss a single shot and have a 100% hit ratio. I guess that's a secret. I don't know what it does or what it means, but... I'm sure there's some, like, amazing 1cc gameplays of this. Oh, that's too slow. I'm gonna have to play this off-stream a bit and see if, you know, is there an input lag caused by my capture solution? Or am I just genuinely not quick enough? Oh yeah, Duck Duck Snow, I'm sure that they get wild. Because I've watched speedruns of other arcade games, you know, tool-assisted. And it's like, things are happening that I didn't even know were possible. Okay. Got a pretty good idea of what to expect in this stage, I think. Oh, I thought I got out of the way in time. Or my hitbox is just bigger than I thought it was. Yeah, my previous experience of this game was on the Master System as a Sega Ninja, but they had changed the main character to a guy instead of a princess. And also removed a bunch of stages. It's a pretty good conversion for the home for the time, but I think this is a lot more fun. Oh, nope, I was too slow. Okay, this is probably my last life, and then I think gonna call it a night, because it is past 1 a.m. now. I am getting quite tired, if I'm honest. Most days I do get up around 6 to 6:30. Ah, it's too slow. Well, I think that will be where I'm going to call it tonight, class. Thank you for joining me while I showed off, my fun little toy here with the Sega Astro City Mini. No, thank you for attending the stream. Let's see. Oh, we can turn off the arcade system and wheel the TV away. There we go. Yeah, it was a fun throwback for me, too. So I very much enjoy this type of thing. Let's see, who is online? Ooh, I know who we can go raid. We can go raid Nanase Kain, who's doing his monthly karaoke party. I don't know how many of you watched yesterday the VTuber Choir premiere. He was one of the tenors in that. If you haven't seen that, do check my Twitter, because there's a link to the YouTube. I think I've also uploaded it here on my Twitch as well. But if you haven't seen that, do look it up. That was a project with, I think, a total of 15 people involved that took nearly 2 months to come to fruition, and it came out wonderfully. I taught a bunch of other VTubers to sing Mozart's Ave Verum Corpus, and taught everybody their part, compiled it all into one finished product, and it came out really wonderfully. And I think it's a nice way to showcase a lot of the talent that's in the VTubing community. Actually, why don't I just grab a link to it now and shamelessly self-promote? But I will be organizing another VTuber Choir project. So do follow me on Twitter if you're not, because I'll be announcing those project details, I believe, on November 1st, which I think is next Monday. And yeah, that's about it for me. I think this Wednesday I will be doing a quick barbershop recording stream, because just in time for spooky season, I have a barbershop arrangement of spooky, scary skeletons that will be very fun to record on stream. Then Friday, I will be hooking up my original NES to play some spooky NES games. It's not quite right to call them horror games, but I've got Monster Party, which is a bizarre platformer. I've got Fester's Quest, which is an Addams Family spin-off game with some good gross-out imagery. And then Castlevania 3, just because, yeah, close enough. And it's one of my favorite games. So we'd go through some of those, see if we can make any decent progress, and just have an overall good time. So thank you all for coming tonight, and I will see you next time. Oh, what should we have for a raid message? I hadn't thought of that. I haven't thought of raid messages that aren't for music or Doom. Oh, we don't need a raid message. Say whatever you like. Or, know what, since we're raiding into a singing event, why don't we go with our usual Do Raid Me. So, let us go pay Mr. Nanase Kain a visit. He is singing campfire songs, I believe, is the theme of this karaoke, which sounds like a very comfortable thing for autumn. Yeah, thank you for coming, Lurksing. A lot of fun for me. I will look forward to doing more retro streams in the future. I promise I don't only play Doom. I do play a lot of Doom, though. Have a good night, everyone.